I'm Adam.
I'm Josh.
Welcome back to Breaking Big Podcast. It's the 1st of May. We're podcasting on the first day of the month, which almost never happens.
Really?
I would venture to say that has never happened in just under 200 episodes. Am I rounding up there?
It's not the 1st of May as of this coming out, is it? So
No, but it's the 1st of May today. Don't kickstart me early, George. It's Thursday, the 1st of May. What does that say? Was it Scotch Mist?
I didn't realise it was first of the month. I had to like panic do payday.
Pinch and punch. It's the 1st of the month.
He wins. What happens now? Do you have good luck for the rest?
I don't know.
Of
Is that like an American thing? It's not an English thing, is it? You just used to jab people in school.
When it's the birthday, you get to like
birthday
digs, don't you?
beats.
Yeah.
or you get a pen.
I can't wait for July for you. 40 digs. You'll come off worse than that fucking gorilla.
Can you just make all the 40 digs like somewhere approximately around there with a sharp object? What were you going to say, George?
Should we get into YouTube comments?
Yeah, why not?
Why I pet?
It's time for a YouTube comment from you.
You're going to blag people's head actually with that because when the last week's came out and I predicted that Wrexham, I said something about Wrexham winning the league. And they were like, then the comments were like, they won the league yesterday, mate.
Yeah.
As if it like comes out, as if it comes out the day of recording.
What, you mean it doesn't go out like 2 minutes after? It doesn't go out live? It's not a live stream.
So the YouTube comments this week is more like a roast of Josh Gudgeon.
Oh, nice. I can get
It's been
behind
weeks,
that.
mate. Like you need to. That's bad vibes, mate. You need to pick some better comments.
I don't like picking good comments.
Wanker.
There's no
Boring.
fun in that, is
Right,
there?
okay, whatever.
I'm with George on that.
So Gene Longsdon says,
OG Gene.
That is an OG.
who else was surprised that Josh didn't put a Machine Gun Kelly CD and a Pixar Blu-ray movie on his list?
Yeah, I was Gene.
Did I say I've watched Kung Fu Panda 3 recently?
Fuck's sake, yeah.
It's
like
fuck on the
multiple
podcast.
times.
I think it might be the best one, you know. It was class.
Anyway.
Next comment from Joey Wah. Josh, mate, get clued up before you make stupid comments.
Yeah, get clued up, mate. What's the
I want
context?
to say there's more
No
to that.
idea what that is in reference
That could
to.
be in reference to many things, to be fair. But equally, I'm accountable for that as well. I'm guilty of doing that. Like if we're talking about something, we might have an opinion on it despite not fully understanding it.
We absolutely will have a full understanding of it.
Most people do that, like in general
I think that's
day-to-day
what
life.
podcasting is.
He seems like bitter though. He must have said something about something very specific. Maybe we were taking the piss out of Star Wars or something like that. Feels like that's the kind of thing it would be.
Or maybe it's you just going, oh, did you see that thing over the weekend? Yeah, me neither. Next comment from Schneusel. Flexing with overpriced watches is such a low testo move.
Weird statement.
It's a low testo move.
Testo move.
And who
I don't think- it
who
wasn't
dictates if it's overpriced?
And to be fair, like he didn't. You've been wearing that for ages, and the only reason we discussed it is because I mentioned it and kind of showed how little I understand about watches. Because I think I referred to it as a 180 quid Argos watch, which is not. But I don't think you were flexing, were you? There was no part of it which was like, look at my watch.
Nah.
Anyway,
Here we are. Primark t-shirts and nice watches. That's the life. This one.
I've actually got that T-shirt.
Have you?
I have that very same
We could
T-shirt.
matching. We could wear this one day. We could wear that bathing ape one that you gave me the other day. Another day. Like
I think I'll pass on. I'll pass
grow
on
a
that,
beard.
mate.
Shrink my willy.
Last comment from Neil Mason. You lot need to lay off Josh. There won't be a beard podcast without him. Edit. For fuck's sake, Josh, you thought of one thing for the time capsule, then grabbed the closest items to hand in the studio.
He did. He's right.
Nah, I mean, like,
No, you were lazy. You were lazier than I was, that's saying something. Normally I come with like zero prep. But he's right in saying one thing there. There would be no podcast without Josh. So if you enjoy the podcast, then you give him a break.
What we've both been up to this week then?
mate, like we need to like the internet has been taken over. I think it's like a psyop by like China. The one man, one cup thing, you know, one man, one gorilla, one cup. Who wins? 100
I
gorillas.
think there's a cup involved.
One cup.
Oh,
Did you ever see One Man, One Cup?
No.
He's too young. Did you ever see One Man, One Cup?
No, and I don't want any more. I don't want any more detail about that whatsoever.
I've heard
Thank you.
of two girls, one cup.
Yeah, I think everyone has heard of that.
Josh, you have heard of that?
Google
Play
that.
stupid.
Google that. Anyway,
No.
the internet has been taken over by the 100 men versus a gorilla. Is it 100 men versus a gorilla?
One man
Yes.
versus 100 gorillas.
And, I think Tory Mike put it in the chat first, didn't he?
He's been fucking, like 2 or 3 years ago, we did a podcast. He's like, oh, do you know what would make a good podcast? See what animals you could knack.
There's a guy on Instagram that's
We
like,
obsessed with
we
fighting
definitely did that
animals.
before. We never specifically talked about this new kind of gorilla hypothetical scenario that's been bandied around, but like we did talk about what animals you think you could beat up.
Yeah, we do it often. You're like completely deluded with your ability to take on any form of wild creature.
No, I don't agree. I think I've posited the idea sometimes that I'm not sure, but I think so. Like, I think I might be able to survive against like a small wolf. I don't think that's. I'm not saying I definitely could.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think that's wildly irrational. I would be interested to hear your take on the who came up with this fucking ludicrous.
I don't know. It just goes
I think
around.
it's like the government. It's got to be because we're talking about it. All the internet's but I think some bad's happened in another side of the world.
Let's
And this is like a
distract him
cover up.
with
Yeah,
stupid shit.
yeah.
Let's talk about.
We're only talking about it because you all spend too much time scrolling on your fucking phones, and it's all over social media. And then because there's no real prep that goes into this, you take a screenshot and go.
Have at it, boys.
That's the
There's 20 minutes
topic
there.
of conversation for this week. What is your opinion on who would win in a fight between? It's too complex an issue to actually really answer simply. I think.
Too complex
But what's
an
your
issue.
take on who would win between 100 human beings and one gorilla?
So I think it's undeniable the strength and power of a gorilla. We understand that. There's enough statistics out there from ChatGPT of like fucking, you know.
ChatGPT?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with anything?
Because like you got
Rogan.
Google like what kind of gorilla squat? Do you know what I mean? Or a gorilla like
I'm
what's
sure
a
it's
gorilla's
like
grip strength?
500 pounds or something like that.
Nah, more than that.
I know that the average gorilla can throw around something like 400, 500 kilos, and I mean throw it around, as in like.
Like
I'm not talking about
wang it.
I'm not talking about doing like the washing machine throw, but like they can displace it some distance. So probably stronger gorillas than that can. I think I saw a statistic. I'm sure one time that said something. The most weight a gorilla's been recorded to lift is something like 850 kilos, which is fucking ridiculous. It's nearly a ton. And when you consider that the best trained human beings on the planet can deadlift, so over what? 6 inches, maybe a bit more, depending on the insertion and leverage points. 500 kilos.
Yeah.
I mean, like obviously gorillas are far stronger.
Yep.
Apparently, their upper body can support pulling force exceeding 1,800 pounds or 816 kilograms.
Right. Okay.
Pulling force.
Pulling force.
So my hot take on this is that the humans can win.
Right. Okay. Explain how.
So we need like, let's just say we get to the point of killing it. What we're going to need something to kill it with, and we haven't got any weapons. So what I'm hoping in the 100 men, we've got some really fat bastards. So they've got a big belt because we need a big belt to wrap around its neck.
No.
No. You
That's
can't do
cheating.
it. No, it's not.
It's cheating. They're unarmed, so you can't use anything apart from your fists. So that's part of the. I think that's part of the context of
Thinking
the wider
like a
debate.
caveman setting.
Am I-
100.
Are we all naked? Oh, wait,
Yeah.
We're all naked.
Oh, we're all naked.
Fully like as God intended.
Oh shit! I thought we like had clothes on.
Welcome
All right.
back to the
Anyway,
religious
right, I
beard
st-
contact, podcast.
Maybe we like. All right. So I still think 100 men can do it because I think
How can they kill it though?
it'll gas out. I think it can wang 800 kilos, but not 100 reps. So you're gonna get some collateral. Like your first 20, 30 is gonna die. Like, and you're gonna need some sacrificial lambs at the front. So there's gonna be some heroes. You know.
Send Adam in first.
Yeah.
Well, now we put the chaff at the front, mate. So all the weedy guys are going first, meaning your front line.
So we need to get rid of the front line. But I
You
reckon.
don't care about your life. So.
I mean, like, does anybody know what the like? We need to know like what the sort of endurance ability is of this gorilla because I think it's going to gas out, mate. Like, find out what its VO2 max is. Can a gorilla complete an Ironman? We need to know this because obviously they're not just going to be able to just like spin and wang and punch for however long. So they're going to gas out, and when they gas out, that's when a bunch of us can just like
Right.
get on its neck.
Do
But
you
do you
want
think a gorilla's going to gas out before humans gas out?
right? Right. With
But it's 100 men. It's 100 people.
There was right. There's too much to this. It's been oversimplified because there's too much to it. First of all, what is at stake? Right? Are we assuming?
Life
Are we?
and
Yeah.
death.
Right. So we're assuming that nobody's going to be a coward in this group of 100.
Yeah,
men.
you're going to die
Right.
or it's going to die.
Right. Okay. Right. I would say the only way that 100 men can win, the only conceivable way that can happen, is if the fight begins unfairly, insofar as the gorilla is tied down, and say 10 men can grab its right leg, 10 men can grab its left leg, 10 on its right arm, 10 on its left arm.
Yeah.
And then you're going to need somebody to strike. It's essentially it's not too far removed from human beings, so it does still have weak points. Its eyes, for example, if you blind it, it's probably going to run away from battle. Its groin, it's still going to be like a point of weakness. It's parts of its neck. So I think it is possible, but that is the only way, because otherwise, I think, just if you visualize it, it's going to be a bit like, I know you haven't seen it, but George, you've probably seen it. It's going to be a bit like, I think, that battle at the start of the Lord of the Rings, where Sauron's got the ring on. And he's like normally powered, but then he puts the ring on and he's just like, and he's smashing like 20 men like miles.
Yeah.
Because if you can exert force of like 500 kilos, if you could move 500 kilos with ease, then there's going to be a point at which even if 100 men attack it, it's not going to get tired because it's so easy. It'd be like me smashing away that coffee cup. I could do that all day, couldn't I? Right. So I think it's almost inconceivable that even 100 highly trained men could do it. Because even if they do start by grabbing its leg, how are you going to hold on?
Yeah.
How are 10 men physically going to hold on? The only way that can happen is if they're armed. They have to be armed with something like a knife. There has to be at least one knife among the 100 men for that to work. I think otherwise, I think the gorilla's going to win. If it keeps its eyes on the prize, like, you know what the gorilla's going to do?
Who are the men? That's the next question. Because like,
The average men on
if it's
it.
100 Georges, we're fucked.
I think it's the
pick
average
a
man.
roster of 100
Roster?
best UFC fighters.
A roster?
Roster.
Yeah, a roster.
A Rasta.
Oh, a roster.
Roster.
Did you see the Chris Eubank Conor Benn fight?
I saw the
not.
highlights.
Probably one of the best fights I've ever seen.
I heard it was good, yeah. I didn't. I was tempted to like buy it, but then I just thought, no.
You know, Chris Eubank Senior is really like eloquent and sort of flamboyant.
Yes.
He gave a talk
Like
at the
a
end.
smarty.
Yeah, he gave a talk at the end. He had an interview, and like at the very end of the interview, just like broke out and went Rastafari, and then went back in, and I was like, they were the wildest. It was so
Have you
funny.
seen the interview where he like slips into that and then he goes, "Oh, sorry,
No,
that's
that
my
was
mother tongue."
Yeah, he is.
I think he's funny as shit. Like, one of my favorite Chris Eubank Senior moments was, I remember the original. This is how fucking old I am. I remember the original Eubank Nigel Benn fight.
Really?
Yeah, because it was on terrestrial TV,
Wow.
and I remember watching it with my dad. I don't remember it like intimately. In specific detail, but I remember it like being on, and I don't remember this from the time, but you can see back on clips of the interview of that when the kind of leading up to it, and Nigel Benn shouting over the top of Chris Eubank. Eubank goes, hold on, let's have some parliamentary procedure here. But yeah, I think I like Chris Eubank, man.
He is a loon, man. And he's like he's on the like. The cheese has slid off the cracker with that man. Do you see when he came out? He's
just
walking out. And it's like dancing. Anyway, that was an unbelievable fight. That I'm not into boxing whatsoever, and that was.
Well, I don't really know
spectacular.
anything about boxing in terms of the skill of it or like what makes a good fight, what doesn't.
It was just
being
But it was
entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah,
Like for 12 rounds, they just dug out and absolutely battered each
because
other.
normally you watch a boxing fight these days and they just hug a lot of the time and
I mean, I can only watch.
they don't really like slug it out.
Yeah,
like
I can't
that.
really watch. I only watch MMA because I find it a bit more entertaining. Shout out to Danny Mitchell was in Italy this weekend as well because one of our mates, Rico, fought for the BKFC European Championship.
Bare knuckle
fighting.
So something to do with Burger King,
And that was, again, probably one of the best bare knuckle, probably the best bare knuckle fight that's ever existed in a trilogy fight with this guy called Jimmy Sweeney, and he beat
Jimmy Sweeney.
He beat Jimmy
That sounds
Sweeney.
made up. That sounds like a character from a Charles Dickens novel.
Be careful,
It's
man.
called Jimmy Sweeney.
They live locally. He's from Ireland originally, but he's local to us. But yeah, shout out to Rico becoming the champ. What a boy. He had colitis as well, so you can't. A lot of competitions you can't get sanctioned because he's got an ileostomy bag. But he fights
A colostomy.
colostomy bag, colostomy or ileostomy.
colostomy.
Colostomy, you mean like
The bag, like
bowel?
yeah.
Like it forms part of a bowel, essentially.
Yeah, like external bag.
Yeah, so colostomy bag.
Yeah, so he wears a colostomy bag and he's like a high level athlete. And
That's mental.
Fucking unbelievable, mate. So like, what an inspiration. Anyway, so if I could have Danny Mitchell, Rico, Jimmy Sweeney as part of my 100 men,
Could 100 Danny Mitchells beat a silverback gorilla?
They're more likely. It's more likely to be successful than like 100 average men, obviously.
If Danny were like, right,
no, because I said like who are the men? Because if you imagine like you wouldn't really know how to hold on to somebody, but somebody like Danny or like these fighters, they understand the mechanics of a body. Or to
I
be able to
feel like
for grip
we're going to
strength
get
and-
absolutely fucking annihilated.
So
Because
do
for
you
the
think-
record, I say the gorilla wins.
yeah, I do too. But like, if, like you say, you can hold the gorilla's limbs down, if Danny Mitchell like took its back
Look how fucking thick
Do you
is a
think you
gorilla's
could-
neck.
Yeah.
I feel like they're unchokeable almost.
That's why I said we needed a fat bloke to use his belt.
Yeah, but that's not that's
a
not in the
weapon.
rules, man. It's a weapon. You're gonna have to try and blind it. That's the only way you're winning. Somebody's gonna have to be a bit of a hero, right? And like, so if it were me, right, I'm letting, admittedly, be a bit of a coward. Let a few other people try and hit it first. I'm gonna be the hero here, and I'll try and like kind of run up and like when it's in a state of perhaps it's like focus on somebody else. Just try to go like, and jab it in there.
With two
Probably not at the
fingers.
same time. Probably split.
You'd have to like. I think you'd have to go like. You'd have to fist it in its eye. I think one finger wouldn't do it, mate. I think you'd have to go like.
Clip that sentence. Just take out where he said eye.
That's like fucking dig an elbow into it. I don't know. Have you seen the size of a gorilla's teeth as well? Imagine getting bitten by one.
No, man. I mean, they could literally fucking eviscerate human beings. They could like pull them apart. The grip string's something like it's insane. It's like an average gorilla can do what strongmen struggle to do, like tear a phone book.
Oh yeah, I mean
Do you
like
hear that story
even
about that
chimp
fucking
do.
zookeeper that like he had his fucking nuts torn off.
No.
He had his nuts fucking clean fucking torn off by this gorilla. He was horribly gored.
By a gorilla or a chimp? I thought gorillas were pretty like chill. Generally.
Gorillas are pretty chill unless you fucking try and fight them.
They're chill. Like, would you want to be if there were a gorilla in the room now? Would you be like, he's all right? Just like leave him in the corner, give him like some English breakfast tea. He'll be fine.
I mean, they can play drums, can't they? Do you remember on that? Boom, 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 boom,
I remember that. Yeah, that was a man in a
Um,
suit, but yeah.
Yeah, I do think that maybe with the right 100 men.
We need a zoologist. Somebody needs to get down in the comments and just say, "Look, I worked in the zoo or something like that," and give us some.
Some stats.
The only thing is the endurance thing, but I still think a gorilla, man. They're born in the wild. They live on the basis that they are strong.
Yeah, their endurance
Capable.
is
They
And they're
have endurance.
vegetarian, aren't they? Like, they just eat leaves, they don't.
yeah.
Which is also amazing, really.
Their lifestyle is, it says, like resting, feeding, and slowly moving through their territory. They don't really do a whole lot.
That's me. That's my lifestyle. Resting, feeding, and slowly moving through my territory.
Do you ever watch like Jackass and that Wild Boys and that back in the day? Because like I remember Steve-O went and visited some gorillas once.
Did he?
No? They were
didn't
fucking
try and fight 'em.
When you look back at some of the stuff that they've done over the years, they are lunatics.
Yeah.
He didn't try to fight one though, because again, I think two.
Did Mike Tyson try and fight one? I'm sure there's like Google that, George. Mike Tyson. I'm pretty sure he tried. I don't know if it's like folklore, but I read something that said that he tried
think you might be
to
right, you
bribe
know.
as
Yeah, he wanted
like
to
a
have a fight.
zookeeper
Yeah,
to let him fight a gorilla, which sounds about mad enough for Mike Tyson to have done.
How many drugs do you have to take?
Or every drug, all the drugs.
How many drugs do you have to take to think, I'll give that a shot?
No, Mike Tyson did not actually fight a gorilla. He once offered a
Oh, yeah.
zookeeper $10,000 to let him fight a silverback gorilla at a zoo, but the zookeeper declined the offer. The incident was a result of Tyson's impulsive nature and the way he saw the gorilla bullying other animals.
Oh my God. He thought he was going to be the big man on campus, just roll into cage and be like,
Imagine if the guy had
Teach
said
it
yes.
awesome.
A lot of people would have just said, yeah, 10 grand. Yeah, okay, get in there, Mike.
yeah, but maybe the zookeeper were like, give me 20 and I'll make sure you don't die. And by keeping you on this side of the cage door. Have you seen that? Have you seen the ones where the gorillas are in like captivity and they run up to like the glass and just crack the glass? And that's supposed to be like an unbreakable glass, isn't it? It's like a little half step.
I saw a
Cracks
reel
it.
yesterday where it were like an enclosure and a bunch of these gorillas start like scrapping each other. And this woman's like watching, she's like, oh no, someone get the zookeeper, where's the zookeeper? And it's like, stood in background like, fuck do you want me to do?
Yeah, minimum wage.
Come on, it's not worth it, boys. It's not worth it.
Break it up.
Yeah, have a banana.
Have you ever seen that video? I think it's a gorilla or like a little sort of gorilla, a little ape sort of thing. And it sat on a tree and it shits in its hand and then eats the shit.
Yeah.
Like literally like
Of course, you've seen that.
like a legit like full turd. And it just goes, eats it.
Cheers. I feel much better now having visualised that. Is there anything else?
Do you have any zookeepers that we can get in contact? Is that zookeeper alive that wanked off that dolphin? Can we
Fuck's sake!
Can we drop that?
We're not going back there.
Can we drop them an email?
We're not going back there.
That killed 20 minutes. Is there anything else to talk about?
So Josh, you had some fathering fails this week, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I've got
we,
one father in fail, Anna.
Well, yeah, one proper fathering fail.
Go on then,
The other
yeah,
one was
yeah.
just funny.
Till is bumping ahead, falling down the stairs. It's time we hear the tales. Josh's fathering fails.
Oh, this is what I don't. We spoke about this in chat, and Adam said, "Don't say it because you might get in trouble." I think in context, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad, mate. If I were you, I would not be admitting to that anywhere publicly. But
It's
I mean,
fine.
So,
well, Joyce, it's fine. Must be all right.
if I just
The
It's
arbiter
fine.
of morality, yes. He doesn't have children.
'Cause
26 years old, whatever he is. I'm sure he knows what's right and what's wrong.
Yep.
I don't really give it in.
I think you're fine, mate, honestly.
All right, so
Don't worry about it.
we're out in public, and I'm pushing Emily in the pram, and she's just sort of chilling. And like, kids are weird. Like, Tilly thinks that the baby is like the same age,
So for new viewers, Emily is
the youngest baby,
youngest baby,
Yeah.
and Tilly is
4-year-old now. Yeah,
Parenthood not yet determined. Could be mine, but we'll, we'll
we're
get that tested at some
waiting on
point later.
DNA
mate.
on
test.
Jerry Springer.
So like, she just does stupid shit sometimes. So like, we were just like, we were waiting for Danielle in the shop, and Tilly just grabbed hold of Emily's finger and just bent it back. But like, to the point where like Emily didn't say anything, but it was proper bent it like really far back. So I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? And naturally, she's like, let's go, and panics and looks at me, and I'm like, what were you thinking? And Emily starts crying. Tilly starts crying, and I'm going, what were you thinking there? Like, that's going to really hurt her. Your fingers don't bend that way. And she's like, I was just sort of playing. I'm like, no, come here, pass me your hand. So I grabbed hold of Tilly's finger, and I just said, look, and I bent her finger back, but not far, just a bit.
Just to show her.
Yeah, to be like, look, mechanically we don't bend that way. But then Tilly started crying even more, and Danielle comes over, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? so there's two of them with fingers hurting, and I'm stood there going, I was just trying to teach her that your fingers don't bend that way, but she was bending the baby's finger right. A bit fucking Emily's finger nearly touched her forearm. Or like, this is a fucking nightmare.
I can see that your intentions were good. Not sure that I'm not a parent, but I'm not sure that was the best way to.
Yeah.
You could have just shown her like a medical textbook, maybe, or like.
I don't think it works like
Or
that.
showed her on yourself, like, look, they don't bend this way.
Yeah, but I thought it makes sense. Just obviously not fat. Like it stops, doesn't it? So I like showed her that it stops there.
I think she probably got this from watching you do stupid fucking wrist locks and shit like that. Because I know you like doing that. Like I bet like sometimes at night time you'd be sat there with Danielle and be like trying to get her in like a little MMA special move or whatever. So Tilly's probably picked up it from you.
Yeah, I mean, to be like, it was just a bad start to the day all around. But I just didn't know what she was thinking.
So she
Like,
hasn't done it since.
no, but like again, they do mad
learned
shit.
a lesson then, hasn't she?
So Emily can't crawl yet. So you put her on the floor, she stays there. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
leave her there.
You know, as a kid, I didn't used to crawl. I told you this before. I used to barrel roll everywhere.
And then did you start walking?
Which, yeah.
Because that's what like Emily's not walking
I just
whatsoever. She rolls
skipped
everywhere. now.
I skipped the crawling part. Mum said they were getting ready to take me to the doctor because I was like, look, man, I'm just optimizing energy expenditure. Why would I crawl when I could just like roll? You know what I mean? I was 2 steps ahead.
Oh yeah, which might be your kid then, because like that's exactly what she's doing at the minute. How old are you when you started walking?
I don't know. I'd have to ask.
Ring
my
your mum.
She won't know.
Ring
I don't know how old. I think I don't think I was like very early at walking. I just know that I skipped the crawling part.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
Do you guys know what your first words were?
I do not.
That's good.
I don't think they were that. Probably like milk, knowing me. Or like hungry. I think mine were actually my first word was dada, I think, which I thought was quite selfless of my mum, because apparently she would say it to me to try and get me to say that rather than say mama, which is for my mum actually like uncharacteristically selfless.
See, to flip that on its head, this is what Danielle did now for both kids, and she said it's because when they can't start talking, they're going to shout you instead of me.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe it was that
So
then.
I'm like, sneaky.
Yeah.
Smart that.
So yeah, anyway, that's my fathering fail for the week.
Well,
Like, honestly,
You said that like I'm gonna have one. That's my father and fail for the week.
and
Adam.
next week we're going to reveal that Adam's having a baby. That's his fathering fail, becoming a father.
I did think it would be interesting too, on the basis of like fathering fails, chuck a few like parenting dilemmas to Adam and see how he deal
He's
with
too
them.
logical for like.
Yeah, but
Yeah, go on. All
I
right.
think it'd be funny to see
It's
what
like
he,
parenting
what
on
he
the
says.
spectrum. This.
So, you're in the supermarket and your 3-year-old child suddenly throws a full-blown tantrum in the cereal aisle because you won't buy him a sugary cereal.
Obviously.
People are staring. What do you do?
Have I got all my shopping at this point? Have I got everything that I require?
I don't know. It's
Pick
any
up
point in the
Pick
supermarket.
up the child, leave the supermarket.
With your shopping, so you're going to pay and then go.
Oh yeah, I'll pick
Just
up
leave
a,
it- leave
I'll
them
pick up a
screaming.
kid. like that.
Yeah, like a gorilla.
A couple side raises, but they're just
Yeah.
two birds with one stone. Pay for my shopping. Sorry, it's a boy or a girl.
Either or.
All right, it is crying. Sorry about that. If anyone's staring, I'll say, what the fuck are you looking at? Maybe be a bit more polite. I might just at first say, oh yeah,
Yeah.
kids make noise. If they continue to stare, I'll say, what are you looking at? Then I'll pay for my shopping, pay for my salads, my roast chicken, my zero fat Greek yogurt.
Are you getting them the sugary
Some
cereal?
No, because they cried. And I'll get outside and I'll wait for them to chill out a little bit. I'll be like, look, you can't have everything you want in life, all right? So have a boiled egg or something.
I mean, that's pretty solid parenting there, to be fair.
Is that how you deal with it?
Yeah. Having learned from Danielle, it's a case of...
What if it were like you just got into the supermarket, you've not even put, like, you've put 3 items in your basket and they've just kicked off?
I only need like probably another 8 items, so I just quickly run around.
quickly do the shop
doing it,
without.
thing is, you win some, you lose some, man. We had some like proper on the floor tantrums over in Disneyland, and everyone else that's a parent can sympathise because there's not one parent that's got through.
My default would
Kids.
just be, I just think, what would my dad do in this scenario? You know, people have that like, what would Jesus do T-shirts? Mine would be like WWPWD. WWPD. What would Paul do? Paul's my dad's name. Yeah, not always like a good thing for sure, but that's what I would probably be thinking. That's where I've learned it from, right?
Yeah.
Learned it from. So that's probably what in reality, I'd just be like, look, fucking, where's the maid? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Just fucking sort this kid out. Where's the nanny?
That's what Paul would do. Give it, chuck little Adam to.
My dad wouldn't be shopping with
your
me, man.
mum,
That's
and then
that's
he'll go to
a
golf
mum.
course.
That's a mum thing. My dad's on in the boozer or whatever. He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's playing golf
Yeah.
or Sunday leagues. And then when I get home and my mum tells him, he terrifies
belt comes
me.
off.
He doesn't. He didn't eat about me. He just need to look at me. Sorry, Dad.
Next one. Your 7-year-old tells you they've finished their homework, but later you find out they didn't and lied to play video games. How do you respond?
What video game they playing?
I don't know.
Fortnite.
That fact is it Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what the kids are
And
into these days.
I'm just selling them. They're going on eBay. The child's going on eBay. What would I do? I'd just sit them down and say, homework is important. It's more important to learn things than to play a fucking stupid video game. Like, if they were playing something like of culture, maybe they're playing, I don't know, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which apparently has just been remastered. I don't play games anymore, but I played that back in the day. Or if they're playing, I don't know, Street Fighter 2 classic, or I don't know,
They're probably
Legend
not
of
gonna be
Zelda.
playing Street Fighter 2.
All right,
Because
okay,
that's
well,
of your generation.
all right. Well, if they're playing a good game, I'd be a little bit more lenient. If they're playing some dog shit like Fortnite, I'd be like, look, man, it's going to rot your brain. Do your homework. Unless it was maths, in which case I'd be like, oh, fuck it, who cares? Because I wouldn't want to be getting involved with helping them out.
I mean, you've just got to give them consequences, haven't you? So you'd be like, take some shit off them. Apparently, I go a bit too like hard, too fast. Like Danielle's quite a good mediator, whereas I'm a bit like, I'm going to set your teddy on fire.
Daniel's a good meat taker. That's a bit much.
Cool, George. Oh, you didn't ask me how my spa day was?
I didn't want to ask you because I thought you'd give me too much detail. I was the spa day.
It was
How was the conceiving of the third child?
TBC.
Has Danielle done a pregnancy test yet?
No, it were good, you know. It was nice weather.
Where are you going again?
Rudding Park up in
Oh,
Harrogate.
yeah. I've been there one time. I don't spa, so it's not really my kind of thing. I always feel kind of awkward there walking around in a gown.
You know what? I had a massage, and this is a weird thing. That this is like a fucking massage fail. So Danielle went and had
You were going to say facial.
and I had a full body massage, and the lady comes over to you, and she looked quite petite, and she's like, "Hi, my name's whatever. We're just gonna go for here." She's like, "How do you like a massage?" I'm like, "Well, I thought you look about as weak as George, so we'll say pretty firm because I imagine you've not got."
Yeah, when I had that, I said, fuck me up.
So I'm like, yeah, you know, I give it some. And but she's like, right, lay down on the bed, pull your shorts up so I can get to the back of your legs.
Can I give you a fucking massage? Can I?
George just made a fist like that.
That's how Tilly had make a fist with a thumb inside. Look, he broke him. No, I'm not taking it. I'd rather have 99 men than 100 with him.
Legitimately thought George
You'd
could be
rather have 99 men.
George could be no less terrifying. Sorry, what were you saying?
So the lady's like, lay down on your front and pull your shorts up so I can get to your like hamstrings and what have you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sound. So your face goes in the hole, and I'm like, all right, game on.
I bet it does.
There's a lot of imagery in here, which is a little confusing.
But then she like pulled my pants down. You know, like they normally took a towel into your pants. She legit pulled my my ass cheeks were out. I don't know how much of my ass cheeks were out.
Whips you know about?
No, I were on my front. But she pulled my fucking ass cheeks were out, and she were massaging my back, and she went down to my ass, and I'm like,
Hey, I didn't get that part when I was there.
I'm like, I'm not a broad here. Like, what is this? But
What's it called? Running pot?
Yeah, I came out and I said to Danielle. Anyways, I had a massage and she fucking all broken by the end of it. It was brutal. But
Do you do that thing where they use the elbows on your trap at the top?
mate, on my shoulders, like I felt like I'd just been beat up, mate.
Do you feel better though the next
I felt
day?
amazing after.
Yeah, usually.
I had like knots in my shoulders, and she was like, just. It must be really satisfying for them just to batter them out. But I came out sweating.
Yeah. It's intense.
But I came out and I said to Danielle, I'm like, look, I said, that was weird. I said, I'm pretty sure my whole ass. I said, my
How can you not know? You
my
must
whole
know.
ass was out. And she's like, your asshole. I'm like, no, my whole ass cheeks were out.
All right, yeah.
So there's somewhere between I'd say half an ass cheek to a whole ass. Because when your head's down, you don't know how much your ass is hanging out.
The geometry of the arse is like a confusing thing.
It is if you can't see your ass.
I
Just think
thought you
about
could
it.
feel the fold below the
Yes, so I went down to the fold, so my ring piece went out, but somewhere between,
part of your butt cheeks were out.
definitely. But I don't know how much.
A builder's bum.
More than a builder's bum, mate. So yeah, I felt a bit vulnerable actually after I came out.
Slips cheeky pinky down there.
I'm like, what the fuck? So
I didn't know that
And
was
then so we went for a meal after that.
Happy ending.
Got a happy ending at the massage. I went for a meal, and they do a tomahawk steak. I actually thought of you whilst we were there. It's a sharing one, but I thought
But you didn't share it.
No, we did share it.
Oh.
But I
Fucking
thought
let down.
you could do it in a oneer. It was unbelievable, mate. So I figured if you fancied a trip out, fucking sounds like a sponsored segment.
For
doesn't
the
it?
new channel.
Nah.
Go have a spa day.
But just for you to go and enjoy a nice steak and a nice little experience. But
I've got my favorite little spa place. I don't use the spa, but I've been somewhere that's better than that.
if you've not been to this one, you can't say
I've been
it's
to
better.
it.
Oh, have you?
I didn't.
All right.
I didn't eat. I'm lying. I did eat there. I didn't have the steak though,
Right.
so can't really
They've got
compare.
3 restaurants there.
Yeah,
Yeah. They've got a taster restaurant, a fancier restaurant, and then the one that we went to.
yeah.
Where's the one that you recommend?
I went to this one called Crow Wood, which is near Burnley,
Okay.
which is a really nice restaurant, really good. Which is the most. I don't give a fuck about the rest of it. So I mean, the spa could be shit. It looked good, but I didn't use it. So
Do you not like just to go in the sauna a bit, or
no.
oh, why? If you're paying for the experience, would you not?
Well, I didn't pay for the spa.
Oh, right. You just went for the restaurant.
Oh, the hotel and the restaurant. Yeah.
Okay, right, fair enough. What were we talking about? Sorry.
It was parenting dilemmas.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, we went off piece there.
So yeah, if you go for a spa day or any sort of excursion, have a child, you're going to then get into this point of life where you have parent dilemmas off the back of a nice weekend. Go.
Next one.
Oh, fucking hell's more.
Your toddler refuses to go to bed for the 3rd night in a row. They keep coming out of their room with excuses. You're exhausted and have work early in the morning. What's your approach?
I introduced him to the spirit of chloroform. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, oh, you feeling a bit sleepy? Yeah, see you later. Bye. Then I put some Bob Ross on and chill. Drink some mead. That's probably illegal. I don't know what the fuck I would do, George. Why are you asking me? This is why I'm not a parent.
This is why it's interesting to find out.
I have no idea what I would do. I watched a movie last night actually about a woman. It's essentially about postpartum depression, but it's kind of like it's a bit like a horror movie. It's called Baby Ruby. It's got the dude that played Jon Snow in Game of Thrones and some French woman.
What's the difference between postpartum depression and postnatal depression? Are they different?
I think it might be the same thing.
I think it's essentially the same thing, but it's that postpartum is actually more kind of medically right, isn't it? Because it's after the baby leaves you, rather than just after you've been pregnant. I think that's probably the more specific definition. Although I could be wrong. I'm not. I know nothing about of midwifery, so yeah, I don't know. But it was decent. A bit weird though, because she goes mental and fantasizes about killing a baby quite a lot.
That's quite common, that, you know?
There's one part where I know.
Yeah.
There's one part where you just get a bit of a jump scare, but this woman just throws a baby at a car windscreen. Which is a bit, it's a bit nice.
Jesus.
I couldn't watch these fucking
It's not
films
real.
you
It's just
watch.
like no, it wasn't that bad. It was. I kind of thought he'd be in more shit. Kit Harington thought he'd be like a big
Game of Thrones.
Big
innit?
deal.
I think he's just made all his money though from Game of Thrones, like being the one of the head honch. How much do you reckon he got paid for Game of Thrones? All them people at the top.
Probably not that much at the start.
Yeah, but I mean, like the last season, like fucking season 10 or whatever it was.
But like, how many of them are actually kicking about doing big stuff now? You know,
Well, you know,
there's no criticism. I just think I think sometimes it's that you're typecast, aren't you? And people
Yeah,
have like
yeah.
that can hold you back maybe if you know
Yeah.
for a specific role. Like Amelia Clark's done a bunch of stuff, but loads of stuff which is
Jason
very
Momoa. He was in it, wasn't he?
yeah. But he was kind of big before he was in it. He's
Right.
one of the few that was.
and he was only in it for like a season, I think.
I've not watched it,
Yeah.
so
That Amelia
yeah.
Clark, she's had like fucking brain tumours and shit. She's
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like half of her brain removed. Honestly, it's
I'm not sure like the
not half. maybe not-
percentages are
yeah.
right there, but
she's had a lot. You know what I mean? She's gone through some right shit.
fucking hell. So the plot of Last Christmas was actually true.
yeah, that's actually quite good, that film. I actually was subjected to that other one that she did. You know about the subject matter is quite depressing, but there's that one. It's called Me Before You, where she becomes a maid for or like a helper for a quadriplegic guy.
Right? Yeah, not seen it.
With quite a heated debate with the person I was watching it with, actually, because he's essentially quadriplegic, right? And he's a bit miserable, obviously because he's quadriplegic, because he was formerly quite an active fella, but he's in a wealthy family, and so they can afford to kind of keep him in reasonable levels of comfort. And he keeps alienating all these kind of carers, and she's looking for a job. She turns up, and obviously they fall in love and everything. And at the end, you're thinking, oh, it's going to have a happy ending. She's going to like be his carer or whatever, and she like loves him anyway, even though he's quadriplegic and whatnot. And he's like, yeah, this is good and everything, but I still want to die. So see you later. So I've ruined it there for you. Sorry. He goes to Switzerland and just kills himself, which is. But I was saying with the person I was watching it with, I was like, I would essentially probably do the same thing. And they were saying, well, no, because like she's saying, like, she's saying she'll take care of him. I'm like, yeah, but imagine how bad he would feel having somebody dedicate their life to
Yeah.
to that. I don't think there's anything.
Very
That
noble.
was a bit heavy, but basically, yeah, that's. Did
his penis still work?
Game of Thrones? No, I don't think so.
Okay. Just wondering.
Obviously, that was a question you asked, you fucking moron.
Well, I didn't know we were going to snuff it, and I thought like that was like going to be the happy
You have to
ending.
put spoiler alert in there because people love that film. This
So
is
the
all
next
over the place today, man.
parenting-
This class, I think this might be the best podcast I've ever done.
The next parenting dilemma. Your 10-year-old isn't invited to a classmate.
Fucking hell! Why are there more of these?
You got
I
so
don't
many
know.
kids. You got so many kids.
Your 10-year-old isn't invited to a classmate's birthday party and feels left out. They're hurt and say that no one likes them. How do you handle it?
What the fuck? Why are you asking me that? I say, good, mate. That's how you want it. You want as few people in your
the
life
world.
as possible, right? Now, wipe your tears away. Let's go. What is he, 10? Let's go buy you a fucking massive quad bike, yeah.
Your kid's going to
Problem
be a
solved.
prick.
You're just going to buy them shit, aren't you?
I'll buy a
them
quad
off.
bike. Let's get in the gym with your dad. What? Yeah, there's some trend for you.
Your child wants to play video games for hours. You've already set screen time limits, but they're arguing, saying all their friends get to. What's your response?
I don't give a fuck what your friends are doing. I'm the gaffer. I'm the L. You came out of my balls. I'm the boss in this house. We're ruled with an iron fist.
It didn't work,
Eat
mate.
your fucking Weetabix. What?
I don't think that's going
It'll
to
work when it like. Well, it won't. We'll never find out. But like, that'll be my style.
Your child becomes close with another kid at school who has a reputation for being disrespectful and getting into trouble. What would you do?
Tough one, that, innit? You'd have to speak to the parents and get to the bottom of it first, because if the parents are pricks, then you need to try and separate these little wazzocks.
I just think in that circumstance, I let them kind of learn by doing, right? And if the guy is or girl is a prick, then they're likely going to be a prick to my child at some point. At which point, they will discover that probably best not to be friends with them. Is that my phone or your phone?
It's mine. I've got a decorator at the house. So it's like the CCTV thing just pinging away.
Yeah, could you just like turn your phone off or something?
I'm probably doing other stuff. Sorry.
This one's a good one. In a public place, your kid loudly asks something inappropriate or embarrassing, like commenting on someone's appearance. How do you address it?
Start laughing. Probably. It's a child.
How old's the kid?
It doesn't say. It could be any age, really.
It was pretty different if they're 15 to if they're 5.
Yeah, not 15. If they're like a toddler and they go, whoa, like, you've only got one arm. Whoa. Do you know what I mean?
That's what kids do.
Yeah.
Start laughing.
They don't have any filter, do they?
No. There's no
Has
chill
Tilly
at
ever
all.
done anything like that?
Loads of times, mate.
Yeah,
Like,
you
Where
got
it's been like, oh, this
Yeah.
is dicey.
you got to
Yeah, like-
probably laugh and then just tell them that's not the done thing.
Yeah, you've got. Yeah, I mean, you either
What's
laugh
she done?
or I can't really say because it's all offensive, isn't it?
This is the perfect point to cut back in. You know what one of my new hobbies
Right.
is kind of putting ideas in Noah's head for things to say to his dad's side of the family now.
Okay, yeah.
Stuff to kind of, put the cat amongst the pigeons, as it were. So I told him when he got back from Florida, I said, go to your grandma and say, Grandma, show us your hemorrhoids. Which obviously he did. And I think she was quite offended by it. Said, no, I don't have hemorrhoids. I thought, I bet you do. So that's my new thing. So I'm seeing him at the weekend, actually. So I'm gonna,
What are you going to tee up?
I'm going to feed him something else to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So we can have that as a segment, please.
What?
Like Noah's.
What's Noah done this week?
What's Noah said this week?
Actually, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Your kid flat out refuses to eat the healthy meal you made and demands junk food instead. Do you cave or do you stand firm, and how?
Depends. If he generally has a good reasonably healthy, nutrient dense diet, I'll certainly let him have some junk food from time to time.
If it's a recurring thing of he's not eating the meals you've given him.
Well, if he's demanding anything, I'm gonna put him back in his place. And B, no, I wouldn't. He wouldn't be eating like shit all the time.
Thing is, though, like in parenting, how do you make your kid eat if they're just not eating what you give them?
Then they get hungry. You just gonna
yeah.
make them sit there. They lead by example. Like if you eat healthy all the time, that's all they know. Do you know what I mean? Like, or if you eat like a normal meal.
We're gonna get crucified in the comments for this whole section.
Why?
Because it's like you're a parent and you're still giving shit answers. Like,
How's that shit?
Everyone's parenting is different. It's like not on anyone to say how you should parent your kids anyway. So if anyone in the comments has a problem,
We've
with
had
the way
Tilly
you
sat
parent
at
your kids,
the dinner
it's not their
table for like
business.
fucking 45 minutes before. Because that's all you're getting, kid.
Yeah.
well arbitrated, George. George is usually the voice of reason. isn't he?
I used to just be told when I was younger, like if you don't eat your tea, you can have fruit for pudding, and that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't get any put. My dad would be like, eat your broccoli, eat your broccoli, eat your broccoli, and I'd end up eating the broccoli out of fear.
Eat your fucking broccoli.
Yeah, just eat the broccoli.
Right, last one. You get a call from school that your child has assaulted another student during recess. This is American. What's your response at home?
They've only like physically assaulted them, right? Nothing nefarious.
So like punched a kid.
I'd have to find out why he or she punched the child.
If it was a case of the child they punched didn't necessarily do anything wrong, your child just lost their temper
in
a little
cold
bit
blood
and just-
punched them.
and just got fed up with them or
What, like bending back the finger of an 8-month-old baby? So I
trying,
just,
I'd just
trying something
just discipline them in a very scary way.
What's the scary way?
Just be very serious and very.
you could. I think
I don't know
you
the
don't have to you'd have to physically do anything back. Like if you explain to them like the severity of the situation, like like a policeman will come get them or take them away. Like that normally.
You'd literally threaten to call the
What
cops.
if they're like, Dad,
Yeah.
they won't? What are you on about? Policeman won't come get me.
How old is this kid? I've only got like
They're-
context into like my.
Let's say they're about 8 years old, something.
If they're chatting back and saying the policeman won't come and get me,
Yeah.
I'd get Ben Pearson on the phone. I'd be like, Ben, you still got a uniform, mate? All right,
Calm down.
come around and arrest my kid and put him in the
Absolutely,
back of the
scare
car
him straight, yeah.
and then scare him shitless.
Or I'd take him down to AVT and I'd be like, right, try fight now. I would.
Come on, tough guy.
I'd be like, that's another 8-year-old.
Dan it. See how many times you can tap my kid.
I'm like, there's another 8-year-old. Have a go. And then my kid would get bad and I'd go, right.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
that's healthy.
Of course it is, because then you go, have a respect for other people, because you will find somebody that will,
I like to think that if I'm doing my job as a parent, my child would never strike another child in cold blood out of sheer. Like I've never done that because I was parenting properly.
Yeah, I don't think many people or children would just like. There's got because there'd be more factors going on, like whether it be in the home life or
what if it was like a a bullying situation where not your kid's the bully, but your kid's getting bullied by someone and they've lashed out and punched.
Oh
him
yeah,
and
we've.
they've got in
I'd be
trouble.
like, fair game, good work. But then I'd get in trouble because
Yeah, you would.
Danielle's a teacher and she's like, that's never acceptable. And I'm like, we're gonna have some like rocky roads ahead, aren't we? When we sat there at head teacher's office and she's a teacher and she's like, I agree, it's just not wrong. And I'm like, sounds like they deserved it.
I'm kind of with Josh. I'm with Josh there. Like, there's nothing more dangerous than displaying weakness as a human being. Usually, people aren't going to. If you're getting bullied, my dad just tell me. He just say like, set about him. Somebody bullies you, but like I never really did that because I was quite an introvert of a child, and I was never really kind of bullied or anything like that. I mean, my dad was actually quite bad for encouraging violence. I remember I got fouled playing football when I was a kid. And my dad, like at half time, he's like, you got to go fucking do that kid now. You just go do him. He's like, when his second half kicks off, just go fucking do it. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, just fucking do it, man. I'm like, all right. Turn fucking right out, fucking 2 foot. Which my dad probably shouldn't have encouraged, but yeah, that different parenting styles. It's a different time.
Right, should we do Big Fact Hunt?
That were a great segment, that George. Well
So
done.
all that shit that I post in the chat is like totally meaningless.
I didn't even know you posted
We'll
anything
talk
in
about it on
chat.
Patreon.
We just, I don't give a shit, but I'm not sure like hypothetical parenting scenarios is a winner for future. Let's
I thought it was
don't
quite
be writing a
interesting.
jingle for it.
We'll find out in comments next week whether it's a good idea or not. If people are kicking off, we have to unlist this episode.
I don't think anyone will kick off.
Go.
Okay, who wants the first question?
Not really. Who went first last week?
I don't care. I
We're
don't
both
care.
going
What
to
is
answer it,
this?
aren't we? Has anybody won yet? I lost.
No, you're close to losing.
All right, okay. Right, I'll go first then.
Yeah. Okay, Josh. What is the only country in the world that is also a continent?
Australia.
Yeah, that's correct.
Trivial Pursuit Kids.
Hang on.
Is it not like Australia?
It's Australasia.
Yeah.
Australia. is what my
Right. No, you can't be
notes
deferring.
say.
You can keep playing the dramatic music, but I'm not letting you.
Go on then.
Going to a judge's.
Have I fucked it?
Fucking VAR.
Have I fucked
Australasia. Frantically Googling is Adam Moran.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. That's not right.
Okay, then Josh, you're on.
I can't lose. Because it's correct. It's on its own continent, isn't it?
Right. As if this podcast couldn't get any worse. The basic like right and wrong of a fucking Q&A, or not Q&A, like of a quiz now.
It's easy for you to say.
Is even shut the fuck up. I got it at 8:30. No other motherfucker was in the building.
I was here. What
Ask me
you
my
on
fucking.
about?
You weren't fucking here when I got here. I was lingering around downstairs, fucking spreading my cheeks. Fucking
What the fuck goes on in this?
Oh, you getting a massage? Yeah. You can ask him a question.
Oh my god! You know what the
We'll
fact
put-
this goes on.
Okay, so does Josh.
Just like, we'll just carry on.
Go up,
Nobody
down,
will notice.
try.
Nobody will
He
know.
stays in the
Nobody
same.
will know.
the
He stays in the
position.
same place. Yeah. Or I just answer this question wrong and I get it right. We both get it right.
Okay.
God.
Which Netflix series holds the record for most hours watched in a single week?
Oh, I bet I can guess this.
Um.
Can I help him? I think I know this.
I don't think you
No.
do.
Let me take a stab. I mean, most
Most hours watched,
watched in a single week. So it'd been something that went up and then everyone watched
So
every
it's really
episode.
popular straight away.
Oh, maybe I won't get this.
Black Mirror. I don't know what that is, but I hear people talking about it all the
Seen
time. I've never seen it. No.
Class. It's not Black Mirror.
I were going to say Friends.
No, not Friends.
Friends is on there, isn't it?
It's Wednesday. No, Wednesday.
It's Friday. Oh yeah. Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was good. I won't rewatch it though. It's not something I go.
So it
back
wasn't
and-
that good.
It was good, but it's not something I go back and rewatch. I suppose.
Roger that. All right. Well,
There is only one Wednesday Addams to me. Christina Ricci from the.
She's actually in it
Is she?
as one of her teachers or something.
Little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Cool. Was it? Did Tim Burton do it, or like was he involved in it in some way, or they just take the intellectual property and just?
Not sure. I'd have to Google it.
Wasn't she doing a dance or something? I feel like the original Wednesday Addams would probably not do a dance
Yeah,
at school.
she did do something.
That's some
else.
bullshit,
It was
man.
like on TikTok and shit.
Nah, come on now.
fuck.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Should we do a base challenge rewind?
Why not? Yeah. Can't get any worse, can it?
We've only got 2 this week for you. It's not pure torture.
No.
Just a
We'll see about
just
that.
a little bit of torture. So the first one I've picked out for you. There's an unbeaten grilled cheese barbecue challenge inside the Super 8 Hotel.
I do remember that, yeah. I remember it tasting good. That's about all I remember. That and it was in a hotel. A Super 8 hotel, which is they're like the budgetiest stuff, the budget hotels.
Is that in America? Mm-hmm. Right.
Spruce Grove.
Oh, it was in Canada, actually.
AB.
Yeah, Alberta.
Alberta.
It was interesting that one, you know, because the funny thing about that was I discovered that I think it was the previous episode, I was doing a burger challenge somewhere else in Alberta, so I can't remember where. And I was doing it, and a group of guys walked in and obviously noticed what I was doing. And then after I had finished, they were like, "Oh, you should go to this place. They've got this food challenge." I was like, "Oh, I've not heard of that one. I've been looking them up and trying to find some and whatnot." So I messaged them, and they were like, "Oh, you can come by." And it turned out when I got there, they watched the chef or the manager, I think, watched the videos. So they were like they were pretty excited to have me there and everything. But yeah, I remember it tasting good. I don't really remember much more of it, and it was kind of a bit weird that it was in a hotel. There was a cool little speakeasy in the back as well. They had like a secret. It's a weird place for it, but like a secret little speakeasy style thing where it was like behind a like a
bar?
Secret, yeah, but behind like a secret door and everything.
Cool.
Like I think it had like wine bottles in it or something, if I remember, and you kind of pull it back. But I thought it was a little weird to have a secret bar there because it was essentially in the middle of nowhere, really. It's not like in the centre of Leeds where, you know, that kind of thing would be popular. It was...
You wrote in the description about like what's in it and stuff, and you put, it's also accompanied by a huge bowl of mac and cheese, but I missed that off the thumbnail. Wazzock.
You see, I carry the same professionalism from the podcast as I do into my normal videos. But yeah, I remember it being good. I don't remember. It was easy though. I can tell you that. So
How does it rank?
What we do out of 10 this?
10, yeah.
4. I think that's highly doable for most human beings.
Josh could do it.
Well, most human beings with a good appetite. Josh should have a good shot at it. I'm not certain he would do it, but he wouldn't be far off doing it, I don't think. Can't remember the name of the place. Actually, it was like the reason I said grilled cheese because it was essentially like a burger, but it was formed with kind of the buns were a bit like grilled cheese, but not unlike the one I did at Sicky's, where some of the buns are essentially grilled cheese sandwiches.
The place was called Broadway and Grand.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Cool, that man.
What is a Super 8 hotel then?
It's a bit like just a shit hotel.
It's like an Ibis.
Worse than Ibis.
Worse than Ibis.
They're almost like, they're not quite motels, but they're very, very, they're like a travel lodge, basically.
Okay.
Similar to a travel lodge, but yeah.
All right, next one. The giant French toast challenge that nobody's managed to beat yet.
Oh, that was the one at Digger Lock. How weird is that? Because I did that with Jesse. I helped Jesse film that.
Oh, really? Yeah. Still going then?
Last week. He lost though. I mean, I've kind of ruined it there. if anyone subscribes to Jesse's channel, yeah.
That looked absolutely brutal.
It's a cool one, that though. It's a weird place to have a food challenge. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's posh, but it's very
Dingle Lock. The fuck?
Diggle.
Where is this?
In Diggle.
Where's Diggle?
Near Oldham.
Okay.
It's in kind of in the Pennines, you know, a little village in the middle of nowhere. Right? It's in this like mill building, and it's I don't want to say I don't know what the word is for it. It's a little bit kind of I don't want to say pretentious because that implies that there's something negative about it, but it's not posh, but it's
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice, and it is. I suppose it is a little bougie. They've got like light bulbs hanging from the ceiling and whatnot. And when they do the French toast, it's kind of with like it's like two giant loaves basically of French toast, and it's in the middle. They've got like chantilly cream and fruit, like berries and whatnot.
Like a little slice looks. It'd be nice.
Yeah, they're known for doing like these big wedges of French toast, but like still kind of normal size. That's obviously ginormous. Yeah, when I did it, nobody did it. I think it only been around like half a year or something like that when I did it. And so nobody had done it. I think a few people have done it since. But yeah, Jesse went. I thought he'd ace it because he had done like a quarter of it inside 5 minutes. I think you get. Let's see, you get 45 for it. I could be wrong. think it's 45 minutes. Springs to mind.
30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes. And yeah, I think he just had a bit of he's not done food. He's a strong man, right? So he doesn't do this on like a weekly basis. I think he was just maybe a little out of practice. But that is it's definitely a cool one to try. Like if you're in and around the area, but quite difficult because it's if you have a thick cut of bread which you are then making into French toast, the mixture is never going to fully absorb into the bread, so the edges are still a little chewy. So I reckon that's 7 out of 10. Most people aren't going to get anywhere near that. Also, it's sweet as well, so the flavour can be a bit much for people.
It says in the description, taking on their yet unconquered 3.5 kg French toast challenge. But then later in the description you say, in which to sink what should be 2.5 kg of French toast, cream and some fruity toppings.
Yeah.
Does that make up?
It was originally supposed to be 2.5, I think, but then they...
Better be a tax.
A little bit of beard meets food tax in there, but I'm never going to complain about more French toast, I'll tell you that much. So
That French toast that we had, that Café Beurre in Germany was unreal.
they do some good shit there, don't they?
Unbelievable, Jeff. So
Go back one day, revisit it.
Well, we might be going back to the
They
old
do any
land
other
of...
challenges, or is it just the pancakes there?
They do
Well,
mad, like, big things, you know.
That's the only one that you
doable.
get something for. Yeah, the other thing is that they've done. What was that? They did like a giant baklava thing. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
That big fucking. Nobody's eating that. It looked like it was back 20 kilos. Or
Yeah,
something.
they do some that are just like, you know, they
Stupid.
look class for Instagram. They look
Yeah.
up, you know, because like, but it's just
Not
not
actually
doable.
doable.
Yeah. They were cool guys though.
They were.
Where are we off to next? Say we.
Wait, you coming with us, George?
Manifesting.
We're gonna go. We're going Germany Part 5, mate. We're going back to Germany.
You know, again.
Well, not how we're going to Czech Republic, and then briefly across to Germany because you want to go back to that club, which hopefully is still there. Otherwise, you'll be
Apply
really
for German
disappointed.
citizenship soon, you two.
Yeah, we're going back to
They fucking won't
Do you remember there were a nightclub that played like fucking Sum 41? And
He was loving it.
it went best.
You know, those exist like in Leeds.
nah, doesn't. We're gonna have to go. We're going back.
Which
to Germany.
ones in Leeds?
Key Club. That's the only one I know. They're not going to let you in though. You're too old.
So
I'm going to say they just let teenagers in there.
Yeah, but I've got blue tick, so I can get in there.
Entourage. I'll be like his one of his sidemen.
Last time I went there was for that over 30s night they did, which was fucking ace. I should have taken you to that. It was sold out though.
We tried to go there on the Christmas do, didn't we? But
can't
they were all queuing.
Oh,
around the
because was Marilyn Manson playing or something?
corner. Not Marilyn Manson.
Are you sure it was something like that?
No, Slipknot were playing
Oh, was
at
it
the
Slipknot?
arena, and then everyone was going there after.
Yeah. So it was like a big,
Massive queue.
yeah, massive line of people. Yeah.
That's the plan in here. Czech Republic, Prague.
I'm off to see a band tonight
Oh yeah.
called the Viagra Boys. It's Adam's band.
I'm saying nothing. I've never taken Viagra in my life.
You
How
gave me
dare you.
Viagra last week. I
I gave you
I didn't-
Cialis
I
last
didn't
week.
use it, actually.
You bum. You
I
didn't
panicked.
use it.
No, yeah.
Is it back then?
So I'll bring it back for you.
For emergencies?
I've never been in a position where
Well, not yet.
no, I'm still firing.
How long have you been married?
18, I think. Do the maths, like it's 8 years ish.
Give it time.
Well, on the topic of penises, should we wrap this up and head to Patreon?
That was good.
That was good. That. Yeah. Well, apparently, Adam's put a bunch of stuff in the show notes, so we'll get over to Patreon and do that. Thanks everybody for listening.
Stuff that was
bunch of-
probably way more interesting than what we just
Oh,
discussed
really?
on
Yeah.
this
I
podcast.
doubt.
Yeah. Well, they're not great, but I mean, it's better than hypothetical parenting scenarios.
And-
So a terrible parent and somebody who isn't a parent.
Fighting gorillas. So if you fancy a bit of that, jump over to Patreon. If not,
Fighting
we'll see.
gorillas was not my contribution.
We'll see. I think every week we need to have like a scenario of like some sort of an amount of humans versus an animal. We'll start every week like that.
Sounds great.
I can hear crackling. Like I think the audio equipment's giving up.
Oh
on us.
no, we'll have to leave this podcast on the cutting room floor. What a shame.
See you all next week.
Peace.